For today's Cyber CEO episode,
our Cyberbacker, 𝗙𝗪𝗏, we have her do pretty much all of our social media. We have her do a lot of our marketing for us. We have her do our flyers. She's starting to move into part of our lead generation database. I couldn't be more grateful for her this year. And this has been one of the best decisions that we made for sure. We're happy to have her as a partner on the team. And I can't wait to see how this next year is going to go with her.
Welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for dropping by. I know you have a lot of things to do, so I really appreciate you being here on the show. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start with what's your role in the business, man?
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm a team leader of a real estate team here in El Paso, Texas. We run about a team of anywhere from 6 to 10 agents, and we handle about 70 or so transactions a year.
Okay. Now, how long have you been in the real estate business?
So real estate's going on about 10 years now.
10 years. So a lot of experience right there. But how about working with someone virtual, just like what you're doing now with your Cyberbacker? Is this your first time to do it?
First time. Yep. First time working with someone virtual.
All right. Was it a big change? Because I know in real estate, usually we work with people that we can meet most of the time. Now, everything's going a bit more virtual. So how was it transition for you and your business?
You know what? That's an interesting question. Before COVID-19, a lot of people, it was mostly an in-person business, and I would, hear about, virtual assistants and virtual things. But I think COVID really kind of changed the way a lot of people thought about business in general. So to tell you the truth, there really wasn't a huge transition. I think because of Zoom, because of COVID, and it kind of got people thinking differently about business in general.
Yeah, so somewhat the pandemic really prepared a lot of the business owners for the virtual world too, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Especially, you can see it everywhere, but especially in real estate, we're doing, tours virtually. We're doing, buyer and seller meetings virtually. So there's a lot of, virtual things happening in the business.
Yeah, a lot of exciting stuff too. Now, I forgot to ask, how were you introduced to Cyberbacker? How'd you find out about us, Matt?
You know what? So I'm with 𝗙𝗪𝗏 I have a kind of an owner of a market center, and he was the one who kind of introduced me to a Cyberbacker because I kind of meet with him every once in a while and we talk about business, and when he's hearing about kind of where we are as a team and where I am, and he had introduced the idea of it sounds like you need some leverage. There's a pretty good, business called Cyberbacker. And, it took me a few times to kind of let it sink in, but that seed was planted probably, a year ago.
Okay. It's a long time ago. Now, let's talk more about your experience with Cyberbacker. First thing you had to do was to choose the Cyberbacker you're going to be working with. So the hiring process. So how did that experience go for you, man?
You know what? It was a great experience. Yeah, and I didn't know what to expect. I know that we go through the steps of the hiring process, and I don't really know exactly what I'm looking for. I kind of know, Cyberbacker was very good at helping me narrow down the focus. So you're starting over here, and then through a series of questions and interviews about you and your business, you start to really find out, okay, yes, this is what I'm focused on. This is what I need help on. And then that was a really good part of the process. And then, once the focus became narrowed, now the interview process started. And next thing you know, you're coming in and there's all these different, qualified, professionals, ready to go. And you're like, oh, cool. Here's a bunch of people who are, qualified to do exactly what we need them to do. So it was actually a very good process.
Now, talk to me about your cyberbacker then. Your cyberbacker today. How did you make the final decision that, hey, she's the perfect cyberbacker for my business and my needs?
Our cyberbacker, 𝗙𝗪𝗹𝗹, it really was, when we went through a couple of rounds of interviews, we had somebody in mind. And as you're starting to interview the different candidates, it's kind of like some of them start to stand out. Our cyberbacker, 𝗙𝗪𝗹𝗃, she really stood out because she seemed to grasp things very quickly. She seemed to have an understanding of kind of what we do, and she, we didn't need her to be an expert. We just needed someone to be able to pick things up quickly. Mm-hmm. She had the basics of the background we were looking for. And as we were going through the process, she really just kind of stood out. And I remember thinking this is the one that we were looking for.
There we go. So really a good match. And how long have you been working with her, by the way?
You know what? That's funny. This is probably about going on 3 months, maybe 4 months. I should know this anniversary, but I don't. I think this is going on 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months. Gotcha. So fairly new partnership. Now, more about your cyberbacker then. What are the tasks that you leverage off to her every day?
You know what? So this is an interesting part of the business. I'm one of those people who, you always want to know what your strengths are as a person and what you need to work on. Sure. And so in real estate has a lot of different things that you need to be good at. Social media was one of those things where, I'm not that person who is always on social media, and I needed someone who would be that person for me. I needed someone who would, take this whole part of the business and kind of go with it. That's kind of what we have her do. We have her do pretty much all of our social media. We have her do a lot of our marketing for us. We have her do our flyers. She's starting to move into part of our lead generation database. So she's kind of, she started here and then eventually she's kind of moving out into other things.
There we go. So mainly social media and marketing are what she focuses on now.
Right. That's correct. That's the main part of her job. And but I can also see her, like I said, her role is going to grow. Of
course, definitely. That's going to be exciting. Of course, more things to do, more opportunities to grow. Now, it's a fairly new partnership, 3-4 months in. What we'd like to know is, how did this become a successful partnership between you and your cyberbacker? Because for sure, some of our listeners might have a difficult time transitioning to the virtual world. So do you have any tips that you can share with our audience, Matt?
There's so many good things I could say about 𝗙𝗪𝗹𝗃. I think, one of the really nice things about her is extremely reliable, extremely predictable. And she is not here in the office. And what I've noticed is, being in the office, it's a great thing, and it can also be distracting. And so what I like about her is she is somewhere else, and she is dedicated to her work. So the minute she comes in, she is literally just laser focused on whatever task, she's doing. Her and I talk every day. So when I first come in the morning, the first thing we do is hop on Zoom, and we kind of talk about, what's happening in the day, what she's going to be working on. And this is kind of what I, told her at the beginning is, I don't really know exactly what this role is going to look like. And I need her to really work and eventually start telling me what to do. That's how I know if, this is a good partnership, is if I can come in at first, I'm kind of telling her what to do. And now I'm coming in and she's like, hey, here's what you need to do now. This is what video we're making. This is what, so that's kind of how it's starting to evolve into, she's dedicated, she's predictable. And she's really thinking along the lines of the business and growing into a position where, I'm not just telling somebody what to do. She is actually starting to think about, the business herself.
Now, I think right there, that's a good example of having a partner in the business, not just someone that you throw tasks to, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. No, that's what she is. Like I said, we talk every day. So it's not like, we don't know each other very well, but no, I couldn't be more grateful for her this year. And this has been one of the best decisions that we made for sure. We're happy to have her as a partner on the team. And I can't wait to see how this next year is going to go with her.
We are very, very excited to see where this partnership grows to, of course, for the next couple of months. And again, Matt, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.